Hi, it's Jasmin. You know, that girl who did you know what way before the internet ever existed. Join me and my special guest every week as we talk about anything and everything because nothing is too taboo. So punch your ticket and get on board the Krazy train with me, Jasmin St Claire. All aboard! Welcome to a brand new episode of Krazy Train Podcast, where I bring you the best of the best in entertainment and, of course, the classics. I know a lot of you guys listening love listening to the classic adult film stars of the 90s and the 80s and the early 2000s. So I decided to make this one into a triple threat. So joining me today is Ginger Lynn and Christy Canyon and, of course, moi. This will be fun. Oh my God. I can't believe it. I haven't seen you guys in forever. Having Christy Canyon and Ginger Lynn on one podcast is amazing. It's like having two legends and one microphone. This is great. Thank you.
Well, we are glad to be here on the Krazy train.
We're happy to be here. And it's been so long, Jasmin. You look wonderful. I miss you. It's really, really good to see you. I hope things are going well. Congratulations on your podcast. And thank you for having us.
Yeah, I mean, it's so great having girls that were actually around during the golden era of porn, like that whole golden age. I just feel it's such a different temperature with where things are now. Do you still go to AVN?
We do, and we go together for the last few years. Ginger and I will be there, not this coming week, next week. That's X3, which we'll also be at. But the following week, we will be there all 4 days signing at Inside the Industry.
We still go. We skipped a few years. I mean, I haven't gone consistently over the last 40 years. I mean, I went to my first one 40 years ago. And I've seen,
40.
I know, isn't that bizarre?
How dare you miss one?
And sometimes, there came a time when it really changed and I didn't go for a while. It became less of a beautiful event and more of a party. It became less of an award show and there's nothing wrong with that, but I miss those and I cherish those golden days where we had the big tables that sat 12 and the centerpieces and the dinners that were served and everybody was treated like royalty and there were big ice sculptures.
You know what else? I was just talking to somebody about this. Oh, there's Ginger again. How back in the day, Vivid used to send us to like this store on Sunset. I think it was called Dress to Thrill. And they were these Bob Mackie gowns and Oscar de la Renta, and you'd rent them they were $10,000 dresses. And we would go in like really like formal, beautiful ball gowns a lot of the times. And now, and if I could, I would, but at my age, I don't dare walk around in a thong and pasties. But it's like, God bless their beautiful 18 and 20-year-old bodies, but that's the average dressing now at these conventions. I mean, I don't wear ball gowns anymore. But it was
and
like, you wore these $10,000 dresses to these events. And so that's changed too, from what I noticed.
Oh yeah, and it's not just us, the porn stars that dress up anymore. Not all, but most of the fans, the females especially that come to the shows, they dress like porn stars. Yeah, I can't tell the difference. They're all decked out and wearing fishnet bodysuits and the pasties. And I think that there's a point we've come to where the general public is so accepting of porn that they want to be like porn stars.
And it's a great thing. And another thing that Ginger and I noticed is back in the day, you had that single guy. Oh, what's this? Because don't forget, when we started, it was behind the curtain at the CES show, which was Consumer Electronics. So you get all these businessmen, right? And then they'd like, what's behind here? Knowing full well, what is this? They'd be looking at our slicks and oh, is that you? Oh, can I have, that kind of thing. Like, whereas, so you'd get a lot of single men. I don't remember any females coming to the shows until probably the new millennium when
Oh,
the
I agree.
internet kicked in. And back in the 80s and 90s, it was a rare day, if ever, a female, besides talent, came to the shows as a fan. So I like it that the doors have definitely kicked open. Yet there was something really cozy about being at the CES show behind the curtain by the bathrooms. Remember, it was always like next to a bathroom, Ginger, and you'd be like, "Now
I
what's your?"
was always grateful for that.
see, but I missed that. That was fun because we were all dressing up. We all had a makeup artist. Remember, we had the makeup artist, like Lee Garland would be there. So it seems so much more
So
glamorous back then.
it
I
was a
remember,
different time back then,
yeah, like we had
and
the
it's
gowns.
changed drastically over the years. And there's parts that I really miss, and there's parts that I've really learned to embrace. I really do love the fact that the fans, male and female, come now, and that they emulate porn stars. It's kind of cool.
It's definitely, we're in an era where it is, the adult business is so much more acceptable. Like when Ginger and I started in the 80s, it was illegal. It was kind of like pot. You could sell rollers and bongs, you just couldn't sell pot. Like, you could sell a VHS porn, but you couldn't make one or you'd get in trouble. So it was very legal. Like we used to meet at a parking lot, caravan to somewhere else. Okay, no cops are following us. Okay, let's, split this way, that kind of thing. Um, so it was kind of like a dirty little Hollywood secret. Then the 90s came around, and I personally think it became very glamorous. You had the Wicked girls, you had the Vivid girls, you had the VCA girls. It was
Right.
very acceptable on a certain level, yet we'd never be fully accepted. But the girls were doing TV shows like X Files and whatever that Ted Bundy thing, Al Bundy, that type of show.
Let me ask you this, Christy.
Roseanne.
Did you ever, when it was illegal to shoot before the 90s, before it became legal, did you ever get busted by the cops
Yeah, were
on a
you
set?
arrested?
Not for that. Budget never paid.
Not for doing porn. What about you, Ginger? Did you ever get arrested for
No, I
shooting a
was
scene
working
somewhere?
on a film called The Ginger Effect, and we were shooting up in Big Bear. And it was an orgy scene. There was a big sofa and a fake plant, and that's the whole set. And we're all fucking and jumping back and forth and doing our thing and just having a blast. And we hear the banging on the door. It's the police open up, and there's like 8 people that tried to hide behind this fake tree. We're all naked. And they didn't
How?
do anything. They came in, they looked around, they walked out and talked to the producer and the director, and they left. So although it was illegal to shoot, I don't know of anybody that ever had a production shut down. I know that was never my experience.
And luckily it wasn't, I never even had anything close to it. It was so under the radar and we always don't forget when they had big budgets back in the 80s, you got these mansions to shoot at. You were shooting at like some mansion in the Encino Hills or the Hollywood Hills, very remote house behind gates for the most part.
And
It
some of
wasn't,
those houses were owned by celebrities. You and I both
Yeah.
shot at Max Baer's home.
yes,
Oh,
and Billy Idol, I don't think he owned it then, but I think he had previously owned the house or he owned it after. It was in the Hollywood Hills. It had like 3 houses on the lot. One was for makeup.
I
I mean,
I shot
there
my
were,
penthouse. It was originally owned by some vitamin guy. I shot my penthouse with Suze Randall there. And then several years later, I met Billy, and Billy had purchased the property. And there's 3 houses on there. One of the houses is called, or was called, the Gingerbread House. I spent a lot of
oh,
time there.
oh my God.
being very sweet. And so that was another
Yeah,
reason why
not
we
so much.
watched last. Last time or back then, we were so hidden in a house up in the hills that we were
Mhm.
very lucky. Now I know
Yes.
later, like late 80s, they really started cracking down and producers would get in trouble.
Oh,
The idiot that owned video exclusives got in trouble.
who, Mark
Uh,
Carrier?
yes, 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 yes. I think he bought his way out of it, but he got, pandering charges is what they were going to give him.
Wait, what happened to Mark Carrier? Now I'm curious because I spoke to John Wayne Bobbitt a few weeks ago.
About 10 years ago, he was bike riding in Hawaii with one of his many girlfriends, fell off, hit a rock, hit his head, and he's a vegetable now.
Who?
Wait,
Mark
a
Carrier.
motorcycle or a bicycle?
Oh no, I
Not a
didn't know
motorcycle, a
that.
bicycle. He was like mountain biking. You know what though? And I don't mean to be mean. He was the only bad apple in such a
Mm-hmm.
beautiful business. He sued so many people. He had his own legal team at the headquarters. He was
What?
not a nice person. He started off nice, then he became a multimillionaire, and then he'd sue I don't like the guy. I don't wish anybody, I guess, bad, things, but I don't care. He's not a nice individual. Karma really kicked his ass, or his brain, I should say. I mean, he's a vegetable worth millions, but he can't enjoy it. But he has caregivers in his fucking $10 million house type of thing.
Wow.
But
I
yeah,
did
bad.
not know that
He's.
story.
I thought I told
Yeah.
you. Yeah,
I don't
no, he's
remember you saying that. No.
everybody, I have to say, everybody but Mark from the 80s to the 90s was fabulous. I never had a bad experience, never had a sob story. I showed up for a girl, and it was a 10-man gangbang up the ass. Never had anything like that happen. Everyone was nice. He was the only rotten apple. That's my opinion.
So, if you're looking for the safest and coolest way to bet online and the most variety, of course, of games and like almost anything you could bet on, stop by betonline.ag because I guarantee you there is something for everyone. So, I think during the pandemic, I found that there are a lot of tourists that came onto OnlyFans and a lot of girls that were maybe working a regular job like real estate or a chef that went onto OnlyFans. Do you find it especially challenging going on there, even though you have a built in fan base?
I never had a problem. No, I really didn't. Did you, Ginger?
No,
Are
I
your
don't find it
fans?
challenging at all. The nice thing about having been around for so long is that I have fans from 40 years ago. I have fans from my B movie career. I have fans from my Metallica era. I have fans from my horror genre. And so I've kind of kept my name alive in so many different places over the years that for me, I get to connect with so many people that are fans that are wonderful that have followed me throughout the years that might be brand new to me. And I think that Christy and I are both in a position where I don't know if I'd say we're household names, but people know who we are. They know Christy Canyon, they know Ginger Lynn. So that makes it a lot easier.
And also, I was on Sirius XM for 18 years between Playboy
Mm-hmm.
and Vivid. And, so I started really working my OnlyFans, and then promoting it every hour on Sirius XM. And then when I got word, I had like a 3-month notice that when the contracts were coming up for renewal, we weren't going to be on. And I just fucking plugged it, just daily, hourly, every show. So it just kind of spilled over into that because unlike Ginger, I never got into mainstream. I can't act my way out of a paper bag. I have no talent, this, that, and the other. So I just used, my platform at SiriusXM to really get the word out there. And like Ginger said, our fans will follow us anywhere. And then we get that young group. I never had cougar, or we were never known. Like I didn't know what a cougar, cub and a milf. A lot of our fans are those like young guys. They love the stepmommy
Surprisingly, yes.
videos and you
Really?
bad. Yes, it's insane. And the great thing about one of the millions of great things about Ginger and I, we just go with the flow. All right, stepmommy caught you watching me in the shower. You're a bad boy. Cut to, oh, but you go with the fantasy. I have no shame anymore after
We
39 years.
never did. And we're such sexual beings that I don't care what age I am, I'm still that same sexual being. And
Yep.
I'm loving the new cub thing
I
just as much as
love
I still, I play it all. And
Yeah.
the fun thing is, I've always been known as the girl next door who does the really dirty thing. I have this wonderful fan base. And I'll tell you a little secret here. I actually get turned on during a lot of the going back and forth with my fans, and when they send dick pics and they send pictures or videos of them jerking off. I actually use a
Oh,
lot of that
I
for
think
my
it
own
cut again.
personal spank bank and
I'm gonna.
masturbate to them.
And remember during COVID, and even now, sometimes like we'll take a Sex Panther call, and they're horny, they want to come, and
Oh yeah.
Ginger and I like, hold on, I gotta rub one out too. I gotta plug in my like during COVID. I was like, I didn't have a boyfriend. I was fucking horny. I'd be like, I'm coming with you. Hold that fucking cock in your hand. I'm gonna masturbate with you, and they get me off, and then then I'd be like, okay. Okay, now that I came, let me get your. It was so fun. Like it was just, it's a win-win situation for Ginger and I, and we're the only two left from the golden era. Not left as far as they're all, but just
Uh-huh.
they've moved on. They've,
But we're still
left.
active. We're
We're like,
still in your face.
You're like horny for all this stuff. I don't know how like seriously, maybe I was never cut out to do webcam. When Hustler had me do like an experiment as their first webcam girl, I cursed people off within the first 5 minutes. They shut the thing down. I don't know why, because I thought people would have stayed on. They shut it down, and then I left with the webmaster to go have steaks at a strip club. I mean, I'm not going to sit there and have some ass, some drool tell me do this, do that. I can't even see your face. Like now, do you get a lot of video chats when you do these? Like, do you see these guys
Yes,
when you're
yeah.
a
doing
lot
this
of video
sex? Oh
chats.
my god.
We also each do Skype sessions. And
Uh-huh.
it's not, occasionally you'll get somebody that makes you uncomfortable, but 99% of the people that I interact with, I have fun with. And if you're a dick, I just tell you you're a dick and I block you.
And sometimes
But
they
I
like
very
that.
rarely get that. I don't have time for negativity.
No, but sometimes, Ginger, they want to be called a dick. You asshole, yeah. And then the call's over because they came. You just have to deal with all sorts of people. But like Ginger said, 99.9% are amazing and they appreciate us. And they've, been jerking off to us for 40 years and 39 years. So,
One of the things that I found that I'd never heard of before, and I had to look it up on I found it on OnlyFans, is SDH, which is small dick humiliation.
Oh.
And I'm so bad at it. Because I like cocks. I like them all, and some of them are just like cute little mushrooms, and some of them are massive pieces of meat that I can never fit inside of me. But they all have their personalities, and I like them all.
oh my, it's so true. And when they do the small ones, I'm like, how do I not be mean? Unless I know they want me to. And I'll be like, God, okay, your dick is nice and it's perfect for my ass. That's what
Yeah.
I work with. Your dick, I can fit yours in my butt. And that's a good thing because not every dick can go in that tight little pucker hole of mine. You know, it,
I
they're
have
just,
trouble getting my tongue in there sometimes.
Only now and again she does that, I guess. But yeah, that is, I don't think guys understand this. When a woman tells you your penis is perfect for anal, she's just telling you have a small dick. So take it as a compliment at the same time. But I guess, I don't know. I don't think I've really said that to anyone. And I've said other things just worse than that. So, you know me, come on. So moving
I
right
don't
along
know.
with this, I mean, I'm glad you guys are in OnlyFans and thriving on there together. And it's the perfect collaboration between the two of you. Do you still work? I know Ginger was shooting content with some of the newer girls. And that, let me switch back. What do you think the recipe is? Like, you girls are household names. Do you think there are younger girls now that are coming up through OnlyFans that will be remembered in 30 to 40 years? Like, I personally don't think so. What are your thoughts on that?
Not a chance.
I think it's such a transient industry, and I don't think the girls get into it realizing that their images are going to be there forever, but no one's really going to remember them. So many there's a look today that a
Mm.
lot of girls look like. It's cookie cutter, and I just I don't think there'll ever be another big porn star. I mean, there's the Angela Whites, there's big names, but it's just different. There will, in my opinion, never be another porn star. I think Jenna Jameson was the last.
If you're looking for a way to put some energy into your life and some pep in your day, and of course with very clean, 0 calorie, and 0 sugar energy, go to tigerlife.com. That's TIGERLYFE.com. Make sure you get a case of the stuff and use my code Jasmin SC, JASMIN SC, for free shipping. It's totally worth it.
I disagree with Ginger as far as cookie cutter. Cookie cutter to me was that 90s when they were all these big fake titted bleach blondes for the most part. Then, because now I see the doors are kicked open for everybody. You got the BBWs, you've got the glasses and the
That's
dark
true.
hair. Like we go to all the Exotica conventions on top of AVN and X3. I've never seen such a variety. There was a girl, I think her name is Alex Cole. I'm not sure. And she has the longest fucking lines. Tiny, little, tiny, thin girl, glasses, long, straight hair. And I was like, she didn't look like any porn star I had ever seen. And they aren't even porn stars now. Now they call them content creators.
Yeah.
Right.
The word porn star, it's kind of going wayside, whatever. But
I guess what I meant more so than the cookie cutter is AI. I'm so everybody that I look at on any of the shows or any of the social media, any of the OnlyFans, everybody is airbrushed. Everybody
Mm-hmm.
is
oh my god,
The
girls,
they're
filters.
they, they,
yes.
they're 50-year-olds that are looking 18, and it just that's the look that I'm talking about that drives me
Oh,
fucking nuts.
You talking about us or something, Ginger? What are you trying to say?
no, I know who she's talking about. This
I
girl
know who
uses
she's talking about too, I think.
We all do. We all do.
We all
no.
do.
I don't use filters. I would like to get. I don't even have a filter. I don't have one, but they now have this AI filter. And the problem is, if you go to meet somebody and you've been looking, 18 and you're not 18, it's going to be a rude awakening for somebody out there. That's the problem with all of those filters. So now they're content creators. But then last year, about a year ago, when Ginger and I did the AVN show, you have to go through metal detectors. They wand you, they look through your stuff, which is
Oh.
great. The more security, the better. So we're in line because we're first up. We always sign first. I go through, our handler goes through, and then Ginger's next, and she reaches down to get something out of her suitcase, right? Her ID or something. And this
Oh.
girl just walks in front of Ginger. And I'm like, excuse me, you just cut in front of my best friend.
Uh-huh.
And the lady with the wand is like, yeah, you can't take cuts. And she went, oh. And so we have a new term for some of them. There are content creators, but there's also content creators.
Oh,
Like,
that's totally what they are. That's
oh my,
totally what they are, 100%.
she was like, why am I waiting behind these broads? That kind of thing. So it's just, there's such a variety now. You're never going to put the genie back in the bottle. And Ginger and I always say how lucky we were to get in it when we were. Whether you liked us or not, you had to watch us because there were only 12 girls to choose from in the day.
There weren't like, when I came about in the 90s, like the mid 90s, it was, I mean, it was weird because you had only a few brunettes. I remember Terry Weigel.
Yes.
Exactly right. And then who else was the other one? Jasmine Aloha. Then you had Hypatia Lee, girls like that, and like some
Tori
of them you still Hypatia.
Tori Wells, she was another big.
Tori Wells, right. Then you had like Whitney
Mhm.
Wonders. You had Aja, that sort of thing. It was such a tough business then. I mean, I'm glad for the inclusivity, but I think it just takes away. And I'm sorry if I sound like a dick, but actually, no,
Like,
I'm not.
like
But it
you.
just takes away from the glam of it. And you're right. There's some people that we
Yes.
know that are about 50 years old, but the difference is you could use all the filters in the world that you want. But when you show up at horicons and things like that and you smell like a fucking homeless person, there is nothing and no filter for that. Not even my mouth, and not
you
even like the strongest perfume in the world. So anyway, moving forward. Yeah.
I'm hearing everything just
What's so
fine.
funny? What did I say? Well, she knows who I'm talking about. I could tell. See,
I
I
know who
know
you're
she knows.
talking about.
Anyway,
And it's just, it's hysterical because, I don't
not
want to say bad
you.
things about people, but you don't have to. You can just say the things and let people know instantly who you're talking about.
I think people kind of forget, like back in the 90s till now, it's been a long time, but some people still do the same minutia they were doing back then. So I don't know if we've all really quite grown up. Anyway, do you ever see yourselves getting back into radio? Because Ginger, I know you had a show. Christy, I remember you very well in Vivid Radio. Do you ever see yourselves trying to get back on that platform in some form?
We do have a show now that you can still go to patreon.com.
Mhm.
Uh, and the show is called Who Let the Girls Out. So we have over 111
Woof.
episodes of the last podcast that we did. We're feeling things out right now and seeing what we want to do next because we're never going to be done.
The thing that I have found after 18 years on radio, and I loved it, and I would love to get back in it. The problem is in this PC bullshit climate of everyone getting offended about something, no one on terrestrial or Sirius XM, they already kicked us off. No one will take our dog and pony show. We have the
No.
black mark of being in the adult business. As much as I would love to be like, yeah, I want to get on Kiss FM. Are you fucking kidding me? Even Sirius XM, which is open, they don't really have the FCC guidelines. It takes that 2% of the population to be
Mhm.
offended, and we're off. And that's what happened. Because when we got let go at Sirius XM, it wasn't just radio, it wasn't just Vivid Radio. It was Jenny McCarthy,
Anything
it was
adult.
Yeah,
comedians
I
that,
saw that.
it was like 6 or 7 shows that possibly offended the fucking, butthurt snowflakes. So we were off. So to answer your question, I would love to do radio again, but it is just not going to happen. Then Ginger, as she was saying, we got on Patreon, right? We could do our fucking antics on Patreon. You charge money because as much as I love radio, I don't do shit for free because I have gas bills, I have carb, whatever. I don't
Mhm.
care how much you love your job, you get money for it. So we go on Patreon, right? And it's whatever, $5.95 a month. And one day we wake up and half of our shows are gone. We're like, what the fuck? They
Yeah,
cut
they just
adult material out of Patreon. Like, are you fucking kidding me? You fucking vanilla pieces of shit. So the box kept getting smaller and smaller until it got squished. And it's just, there's no money in it. So you
we
move
do
on.
do.
Well, wait, with Sirius, I
We
heard there's not a lot of money at Sirius even nowadays. I'm sorry. Like, I
no.
heard that Sirius just takes like anyone and everyone, but people don't really make that much money now. Is that true?
It is for the
Yeah.
last year that we were on Vivid Radio. The owner of Vivid was like, Christy, they cut our budget to the point where I'm pretty much covering everyone's paycheck. and we made decent money. And he's like, but I'm doing it because I know you love it and I love you. So I'm going to keep it going till they cut us off. They had started out at Playboy. This was what we heard back in 18 years ago. There was a $3 million budget. It got to the point where they were giving Vivid 50,000 to produce 7 shows.
Wow.
It got on a shoestring. It cut so close to the bone. And I remember the owner of Vivid calling me and saying, I hate to give you the bad news, and it's not my fault. They cut us. He's like, I would have kept it going forever for you because I know you love it. So, but what are you going to do? But I heard that
They're
they
just
are having
still
financial
not
trouble.
ready
But you
for
know what?
us.
There's plenty of people that they will.
No, they're not.
They never will be, Ginger. We had our radio heyday, that's for sure. Like Ginger and I always say, we get things at the best time. We got the video at the best time. We got dancing on the road at
Dancing.
Oh,
the
yeah.
best time. We got radio at the best time. We're at it at the top of the crest. And you know what? Like everything, not just stuff in the adult world, eventually it crashes. And whether it's a year or 10 years, eventually OnlyFans will crash. It's just, and then you get on the next leapfrog lily pad.
Yeah, I mean that's the way the cookie crumbles, right? And you have all these other
Absolutely.
like Ginger has projects outside of this. You have this. I imagine you strictly do the OnlyFans thing, and you just stay on that. Is there any chance that you might try to do something again, like possibly podcasting? Because I think you'd be really good at it.
No,
They're not going to kick you off. They haven't kicked me off yet.
I have here's the thing with Ginger and I.
Christy and I have talked about it. I don't know where we stand on it right now. We're both making a lot of changes in our lives. I do have a
Good
friend who's
changes.
an A-list actress that wants to do a podcast with me and with her name and my name and the
Like,
the commonality and the differences. I think it would be a really good show. So I have a podcast that is in the very beginning stages with someone else. Yeah, and I can't say her name yet, but everybody
it's the
knows her.
kind of
Everybody loves her.
it's the kind of thing, Jasmin, that Ginger and I have learned. You never say never, but a lot of things are on a back burner at the neighbor's house. Do you know what I mean? Like
Totally.
Ginger has a mainstream actress that wants to do it with her. I would jump on someone else's, but I don't have the time or energy to start one again. Like Ginger and I's was so good. And the only way that we can make money, because as you know, Jasmin, no mainstream product is going to advertise on an adult star's platform.
It will never
And
happen.
yet,
There's no one like us together.
no, and
What
it's fine. I accept that. I'm not like crying, oh, they won't. No, you take that's how it is. It's always been like that. Like you had great actresses. Ashlyn Gear comes to mind in the
Yeah.
90s. Gina
she
Fine.
was wonderful.
They were bar none as good as any A-list actor in mainstream. They were never going to get on that Oscar red carpet because they had the former porn star above their name. So and Ginger and I are fine with that. We're very comfortable.
Advertisers, like I keep this podcast and I have my live stream, but I work on a conservative network as well, doing a podcast there. So, like, whatever the common ground is, I'm still able to do my voices like on two separate, obviously, they're two ends of the spectrum.
Right.
But I think one of the biggest challenges sometimes is getting guests, because when they find out you're conservative, and it does not affect the way I treat people as a guest or as a human being. It's like all of a sudden, oh my god, like every trigger it gets fucking checked off from these people, so every little snowflake thing, every this and that, it's just like they're all checked off, and it's like, oh my god, I can't talk to you. This is it. Just people don't get it. They just don't get us. We're a dying breed, but we're out here now, which is great.
Right.
By the way, I heard a horrible rumor that Gentile died, which I think is really sad. Do you know anything about this? And I'm sorry to bring it up. I just thought you'd know because you guys were vivid.
She passed away it was Halloween during COVID, I believe. So it was like 2020 or 2021. And Melissa Hill called me and she was like, Gentile just passed away. The rumor was she was in a foreign country, got a tattoo that got infected. That's what I heard. I don't know. And who really cares? She's dead. Like, I don't know what the story was because she wasn't living in the States anymore. We lost touch. She did Vivid Radio a few times.
Yeah.
And she was adorable. She would call in. I think once she came into studio. I don't know, but she definitely has passed, unfortunately. And I don't know the details. I never looked to find them because it doesn't matter.
Yeah, I don't go into online like too many resources. They're gonna start getting into rabbit holes and everything. Then like next thing you know, my morning's gone. Now it's the afternoon. It's like, where did my day go? I'm just here. The internet's changed so many things. I don't know if it's for better or for worse. But before you go, because I know Ginger's gonna be with us for a little while longer, what do you
Yes,
want to plug aside from your OnlyFans? I want you to plug everything.
got OnlyFans, Sex Panther, and of course, when is this going to air? Because next week we have the LAX3 convention for 2 days, which is we're in the year 2024, so the X3 is next week. So that is on January 19th and 20th. Then we hightail it to Vegas to do the AVN show. The 24th, 25th, 26th, and
Mhm.
27th. That's how old school I am. I have an
I
old
love
school
it.
calendar, and I will always have one. I'm not computer savvy enough to keep it on my phone, and oh God, no. But Jasmin, you are so cute. I'm gonna DM you through Twitter my number because next week Ginger's in town if you want to go to lunch.
I'd
Oh,
love to
yeah,
see
that's
you
right. I'll
ladies
be in
in person
LA.
at lunch because this is cute virtual, but to do something at lunch in person would be the most magnificent thing of the year.
Absolutely. I don't know. Our numbers are from years ago. I don't know if yours is the same or if I still have it. I'll send it through Twitter later on today.
Ginger, now you're left with me. Now you're stuck with me.
It's you and me, baby. I've been waiting
So
for this day for so long.
oh my God, me too. This is so epic. I remember seeing you at the horror convention in Jersey like a few years ago. Not a few years, like 10 years ago. It feels like a few years ago. What do you have
Yes.
going on right now with horror films or any type of mainstream projects? Because your hands are always in those. So nowadays, it's really questionable about where our meat is coming from, with people like Bill Gates and everyone else screwing up our farm produce. So I decided to try my freeze dried beef because it's the freshest beef ever at freedomfirstbeef.com. If you go to freedomfirstbeef.com, they have freeze dried 100% organic beef and put in the code Jasmin, JASMIN, for 15% off.
I have 6 films. Of those 6, 5 are horror films that have not been released yet. I have 2 films that are currently streaming. One is called Murder Size, and that is a horror comedy on Tubi. We've been in the top 10 comedies for weeks. It's hysterical. It's really well done. And then I have a film that's very disturbing yet wonderful. It's called Pig Killer. It's based on a true story. Jake Busey and Lou Temple play my sons. Uh, Jake Busey plays a character by the name of Willie Pinkton, who is a real person. He is responsible for the rape and murder of 49 women in Canada. So I play these 2 boys' mother. So if they're that fucked up, you can only imagine. It took me 3 weeks of living in that character, and she's just foul. I had so much fun. I'm getting really great roles and loving every minute of it.
Yeah, that's super important to enjoy what you do. People have this big misconception about acting that you have to be really young for the great roles, but I think the better actors are, past 35, doing the really cool roles, doing the really emotional, gut wrenching roles. But it sounds like you're having fun. And then what else do you have? You have your OnlyFans. What's your OnlyFans if people want to see you on Only?
My OnlyFans is onlyfans.com/blame it on ginger.
Now, do you have any conventions coming up? Because I know you and I reconnected at the convention that year.
I've got
Right.
X3 coming up, then I have AVN. Those are both in January. February, I have a convention here in Vegas. I have my own line of glass coming out. And we'll call my first one out is a water pipe. We'll call it one of those. And the stem is, we have four colors. We have royal blue, purple, green, and pink. And my signature is up on the side. So I'm doing a big show to reveal my glassware. In March, I have a premiere of a film that is called The Gifted. That's March 23rd. And then the 24th, we begin filming the prequel. The director and producer were so happy with The Gifted that we're doing a prequel to that. And then on March 30th, I have a book release, not my own book, but a friend of mine's. I have my book, which is called I Don't Look Good on Paper, coming out. I have 3 chapters left to finish. I'm hoping to have that done in the next few months. I'm over 300 pages, so we've definitely got enough in there. I've got my art site where I paint. That's gingerlandart.com, as well as my jewelry designs. I've got conventions coming up all throughout the year. I don't have all of them in front of me, but I'm doing a lot of them, and a lot of films coming out that you were saying that you thought actors as they got older got better. I'm to the point now where I have the fuckets. I don't have an ego anymore. I don't care if I look stupid, if I'm embarrassing, if I'm rude, all the things. I was always such a people pleaser. And it wasn't until the last 20 years that I went, take it or leave it. And I have to thank Rob Zombie for that when he cast me in The Devil's Rejects, as well as The Lords of Salem, which I couldn't do. And then again in 31. So the last 20 years have all been horror. We throw in the Metallica video someplace back there in the millennium age. I just did something really interesting. I was contacted by Adult Time Video, and they asked me if I would play a psychotic nun in a non-sexual role in a film called Eat Me. I did it, and I am nominated for Best Actress in a non-sexual role at AVN this year. My life is incredibly full. I'm incredibly grateful, and it just keeps going. It just keeps going. I'm getting more roles, better roles, media roles. Um, I'm really having to juggle to balance time for me. This is the first, I have a boyfriend. We've been together almost 15 years. This is our first Christmas we've ever spent together.
Wait, is it the same guy that I met years ago?
Yes, this is Nick.
Oh, that's wonderful. Oh my
Oh, yeah,
God.
he's
Yes.
amazing. I can't believe it. I haven't been with another man in almost 15 years. That's unheard of for me. I was like a 3 guy a day girl. I was the biggest, best slut out there. I fucking loved sex, and I had it with anyone and everyone that I wanted to, that was willing to. It was amazing. Uh, and now I forgot why I went off on the slut section.
We were talking about fucking and sucking anytime, then it's the first time you've been with someone, the only guy,
Oh yes.
and
So
no
with
other
Nick,
man. Yeah.
I've only been with him in 15 years. I figured, as far as something I could give him that was more special than I could ever give to anyone, was my pussy. my me, all of me. Um, and to be loyal and faithful to him. I shouldn't say that. I do sleep with women, but they don't count. Do you know what I mean when I say that?
No, I get what you're saying. No, totally. I see what you're saying. And yeah, I mean, that's award-winning pussy for fuck's sake. Seriously. Um, I like hearing things like that because you're actually one of the friendlier people I've met in the business that I always liked at conventions and things like that because you're always really cool, which is amazing. I mean, it's so hard to find, like from our era, I think that's when you had the coolest chicks. Some of them, not all, just a handful, like you and Christy and like Jewel Denial, a few of those girls. Everyone else, yeah, no. What are your socials if people want to find you?
My socials are on X, I'm Blame It on Ginger. On Instagram, I am Blame It on Ginger. Uh, on OnlyFans, I'm Blame It on Ginger. And on Sex Panther, I'm sexpanther.com/ginger-lynn. Then my art site is gingerlynnart.com.
And is that where people find your glass pipes as well, like the water pipes?
My glass pipes, my water pipes are at xratedglass.com. We have an Instagram page called X-Rated Glass, and you can get we have one, like I said, the water pipe is out now. We have different shapes that are all 420 friendly, and as am I.
I will make sure everyone follows you. Make sure to follow Ginger on all of her socials, join her OnlyFans, and most of all, support her art because art's such a great thing. It's so personal. And I'll make sure you post all your socials. I will see you next week, I hope.